What's up, guys? We are live Sunday, February 23rd, 2025, MMAOB Daily Podcast. I'm your host, as always, Adam Martin. Join my co-host here, Mr. Big Marcel. We're going to recap UFC Seattle on this edition of the podcast, and then we'll preview UFC Vegas 103. To be honest with you, Marcel, like all these Vegas cards it's so hard to even remember what number it is now for the other cards. So it's crazy. But we had UFC Seattle, so at least we know it was in a different city. Easy to remember. Looking forward to recapping the card with you. Let's get through the comments really quick. Got our boy Joe in the chat. Joe would love the card. We'll talk about it, Joe. Glad to see you, buddy. Lazy Bed. Black Hole Sun. You know that song, Marcel? By Soundgarden?
Black Hole Sun, won't you come?
This is the part your mom watches. She's going to love it.
I don't mind.
Hi, Miss Dorf. What's up, Craig? Glad to have you here, man. Joe, we're doing good. I mean, I shouldn't speak for myself. We're doing good. I have no fucking clue how you're doing.
I'm good, dude. I'm good.
I'm doing fine. Craig, I had a pretty good day at bowling, man. I've been bowling pretty good lately, Craig, so things are going well. But yeah, looking forward to talking about the card with you guys, I should say. Marcel, nice to see you again. As always, my friend. We've been talking in the Discord this weekend, but always glad to see you on Sundays. What's up, Matthew? Glad to have you here too, man. All right, guys, we got a lot to talk about. I mean, this card was interesting to say the least. I'll say that. Side Collectibles is here as well. I'd say let's just dive into it, Marcel, unless there's anything else you want to. Okay, you're good. All right, let's go through it. So, unfortunately, the staff picks didn't get posted to MMA Oddsbreaker, but I don't know what happened with that. By the way, like we're waiting ourselves. But yeah, they should be posted soon. Just to answer Matt's question, like a 230, which was pretty good. It could have been a little higher, I guess, but still pretty solid. I averaged like 220 today. I've been doing really well lately. Last couple months, I've been bowling well. So not as good as some other people. There was a guy that used to be in our chats, Marcel, that was really good at bowling. I can't remember his name now, but he used to always send me DMs and stuff. Hopefully he hears this, but he was really good, and we used to talk about it. Anyways, getting back to the card. Yeah, so I don't know exactly how everyone else did, but I know I went 9-3, and I think you had Melky, right? You took him?
No, I picked Feely.
Okay, so you probably had 6 or 7.
I had some wrong dogs, man. I had Walker wrong. I had Eric Mecanico wrong.
Oh God, that one you probably want back for sure. For sure. But it happens, right? I mean, it happens. Birch is here. What's up, your boy Birch?
What's up, man?
Thanks, Craig. I knew you wanted to hear Craig. Craig always asks me, he's like, hey, how's your bowling? I love Craig. Craig, you gotta come bowl with me sometime, man, just for fun. Just come down and shoot the shit with me, bro. Joe, you did 6-6. I think that's how most people did. I had a pretty good night this week, like 2 weeks ago, I had that horrible card in Australia, Marcel. I wanted to just never pick again, and then I've had 2 strong weeks, so I'm happy with it. Let's start with the top, work our way down, guys. I think we both picked Song. Or no, you picked Cejudo. You picked Cejudo. Shit. Okay, so let's talk. There's a lot to talk about this fight. So, it was competitive, but I thought Cejudo had won the rounds. I think it's okay to go 2-1 as well, right? I think that's how you had it, right? 2-1.
I had a 2-1, yeah.
I had 3-0, but I do think you can give him the second round, which I think was it Mike Bell that did. I can't remember the judge. I can pull it up, but one of the judges had 2-1 with the second round, and one had Derek Cleary had the third round, which I don't agree with. That's the round with the eye poke. All right, so I think Song looked pretty good in this fight, but obviously it's just marred in controversy because of the eye poke. So there's just a lot to talk about, guys. I mean, really, like, it's one of these things where they need to start taking points away, I would think, Marcel, like more often. I understand the refs don't want to get involved. They just don't want to take a point, especially in a close fight like that means so much to the division. But I don't know. I think when the damage is so severe like this, they should take a point. So maybe I'll get your thoughts. No, I'll run off what I think about this, but I think that's where I would start is, and I'm someone who had Song, but just out of fairness to the sport, like when the eye poke, the guy can't continue, a point should be taken.
The thing has started with a nut shot, at first, before the eye poke, there was a nut shot, I think, I think Henry hit Song low, right? If I'm correct.
I can't remember it, honestly.
Yeah, there was a nut shot. So they didn't took a point there, Then you got like the eye poke. The eye poke was really bad, man. It was like 2 fingers in both. That's like I said in the Discord, the fork poke, the thing was like, Henry was like so loud there that I was almost thinking that he was milking the time, and I don't think he was. If I look back at it and I watch it back, and I now see what is up with his eye, Yeah. But at the moment, I had that feeling, and it is not true, but that's what I had. So should they take a point? I think if it's a really bad eye poke, then you should always take a point. That's what I think. It's the same with cage grabbing. If you grab a cage, I don't want any warning. I want to take a point immediately when you grab a cage.
I think when it stops at takedown, yes, for sure, right? Yeah.
Yeah, but also if you climb up, like what Rob Font did, for example. So
I mean, I don't think he got warned. I don't even think he got warned.
I think he got one warning, but he did it twice or something. But whatever. I mean, I think they should do something about it. And the thing is, like, it wouldn't have been significant, I think, in this fight if he got a point deducted, because he would have still won on the scorecards 30-28 on 2 scorecards, and one would have been a majority win.
No. If the point was taken, it would have been a draw. It would have been a draw.
Oh, was it? Oh, I thought it was 30-27. My bad.
29-28. Yeah. It would have been my bad. That's what I'm saying, though. It affects the decision.
So I think there should have been a point taken, in my opinion, but at the same time, I think, man, I feel like, I don't know, man, Henry, I think Jason said to Henry, like, let it go to the 4th round, and then we can go to the scorecards or something. It was really odd. I think if he stopped there earlier, he might not go to scorecards. I don't know if the time was passed at that moment. I haven't watched it back.
So I can explain it. Let me explain everything now.
Yeah,
is there anything else you want to say, and then I'll explain
go ahead. Yeah.
Okay, so I saw all the tweets last night. I knew the rule myself, but we got some clarification from Aaron Bonster, and then today, Big John McCarthy, I don't know if you saw his tweet, he did clarify a little bit. So, all right, it's actually kind of it's actually a little bit frustrating, guys, when you watch the fights, and you've been watching forever too, and you seem a little unclear, and I don't think that's your fault, by the way, because the wording is very unclear in the rule book, and also the commentators are fucking unclear about it. That's a problem. Like, the commentators should know the rules in and out. So should the refs, and I think there was some confusion even with Jason Herzog and the commission. There's just a lot of confusion. So in the rule book, it says half the rounds have to have passed in a 3-round fight. That'd be two rounds, and then in a 5-round fight, 3 rounds. It says half the rounds, but really it means 2 out of the 3 for a 3-round fight. Like, for instance, Alan Belcher versus Michael Bisping, that was in the 3rd round where the eye poke happened, and then it was technical decision. And then in 3 rounds in a 5-round fight, which the only other, there's probably some other examples, but the one I remember is Jamie Varner and Donald Cerrone in WEC, Marcel. That was like 15 years ago, maybe more. So, it's crazy. It doesn't happen that often, right? So it has to pass the 3rd. It has to have at least gone 3 rounds. The confusion, I think, was when Herzog's like, we have to start the 4th round. We have to start the 4th round. That's the weird part. So John McCarthy said, and also Zach from our Discord chat, he talked to a ref too. So the rest period apparently, this is what it says. The rule book's a little different. And John McCarthy said that the website's not updated with the correct rules. That's what he says, which is a huge problem in itself.
I believe him. Yeah,
I believe it too. So what happened was, and I was right about one thing. So the 3rd round has to have ended, as we know, right? Then apparently it's supposed to start the 4th round, and then they call timeout and then stop the fight, go to the scorecards. But the problem was here, they actually were supposed to score the 4th round, which is what I thought was supposed to happen. Because I'm like, wait, didn't the 4th round start? And it's supposed to be a 10-10 round because nothing happened. So that's happened before. I think, was that Juan Espino fight? Remember that? Like, it was really fast. That was supposed to be a 10-10 round. I think they actually scored it another way, but was it Romanov? Remember that fight? Yeah. So the point is, the scorecards actually should have been 40-37, and then it would have been 39-30. What was it? 38, I think, would have been that or something like that. Yeah, there would have been like two of those scorecards. So there was a mistake there. Basically, what happened was, in my opinion, Marcel, and you heard Henry talking to the ref. He's like, "How much time is left?" And they told him like, "How much time is left?" Okay, so I think Henry kind of tried to game the system. That's what I think, Marcel. I think maybe you agree with me on this one.
I felt the same way.
I think he was trying to get to the end of the round. So basically, guys, it's very simple. If the fight stopped there after the eye poke and you said, "I can't see," no contest. Yeah.
And but it was accidental fall, because if it
was and no point was taken, so they can't say it was intentional, because the point, if they actually took a point and then it was no contest, you could call it intentional, and then it could have been a DQ actually, which is interesting. But they didn't take a point, and Henry's like, "No, I'll keep fighting." So then the fight went on, and then it stopped. So I think what happened was he took maybe a calculated risk that, hey, maybe I won 2 of the rounds. Maybe I won 2 of the rounds. I didn't think so, but when you're in the fight, Marcel, it's different.
Bro, it was close, dude.
It was close. Really close. It was close. Like, I said 3-0, Marcel, but very close rounds.
I think the first round,
I think the first was clear, I think, but the other 2 were
for me, only the 3rd round was clear, in my opinion.
Okay, fair enough. So there you go. See? So Even me and you have a different opinion, but
Yeah.
I think he tried to game the system. It didn't. It backfired. I do believe he didn't. I do think he couldn't see properly. I do believe him. We saw the pictures.
I believe him too. Yeah.
Yeah, there's no reason why he would cower out of the way. You know what I mean? But the smart thing, Marcel, and here's the thing: you can't talk to your corner during this. You know, and the referee won't tell him, "Hey, it's a no contest." Like, remember Diego Sanchez? Hey, what happens if I can't do? Oh, it's a DQ against Pereira. They're like, "Yeah,
I could be
disqualified." They don't tell them that anymore.
Just like it's almost felt like. Sorry if I'm interrupting you. Remember the Whiteman Musashi one where Musashi hit him with that knee, which wasn't apparently down, and Whiteman thought it was down, and I felt like, and maybe that he wanted to get that DQ, and then the referee was like, it was clean, it was not the foul, and he was like, what? And then
I think with Henry, like, and Jason kept saying, like, we'll go to the scorecards. Like, I don't think he was looking for a DQ, Henry, but I think he thought he might have won the fight. I think he thought he might have won 2 of the rounds and took a risk. It ended up costing you. In the end, really, what's the difference? It's either a draw or it's a loss. The pay would have been the same. Actually, when you think about it, it's the only. In a way, it was nice to Henry because Song got his double paycheck myself. In a way.
Yeah.
But in my opinion, this is my opinion. He said he had problems seeing. The doctor barely checked his fucking eye. That doctor with that hat, that stupid hat, you know the guy I'm talking about?
Oh, that was like the lookalike, the Jeff
Nowitzki. Jeff Nowitzki, right? I thought it was. I'm like, is this Jeff Nowitzki? I don't think he did a great job. I don't think he administered like any eye vision tests. They gave Henry the full. Actually, it went past the 5 minutes too. That's another problem. 5-4.
Yeah,
that's another problem. There was a lot of issues with this fight, guys. You can't go and say like, "Oh, this was done 100% correct." There's no way it was. There's just no way. Everyone's confused about this. Like, you have Eric McCracken's a lawyer, Mark. You know, on Twitter, he's a lawyer. Sure. He's a little confused about it. He asked John McCarthy, so that's where I saw John's tweet. You know, I think there's a lot. Scott Fontana, another guy that knows the rules pretty well, he said that there were some issues with this. Again, Aaron went and checked the rule book. I checked the rule book. Something was wrong here. There's no way it was done correctly. In the end, I do think the right guy won the fight. Technically, Marcel, I do think Song, and you even said you had him winning 2 rounds. So I think the right guy won. But how we got there, something's wrong. Something's wrong here. And I will say this: like, come on, none of the other refs are going to go and bash Jason Herzog. They never do that to the other refs. You're muted. You're on mute. They'll never, right, Marcel? Like, when have you ever seen a ref go like, "Oh, that ref fucked up"? They'll never say that ever.
No. They protect each other.
Dana doesn't seem interested in rematch. James Lynch, our good friend, asked at the press conference. Dana's like, "What? You want to see a rematch? You think we should see a rematch?" James is like, "I don't know." These guys were saying it like, I don't think we need to see one though. Honestly.
Also, Alex Cejudo.
It's so funny. Dana was in a pissy mood last night for some reason. Like, I don't know. He was kind of like, he wasn't like bad. Like, he's been worse, but he was kind of like, I don't know. It's weird. I
felt like Dana thought that Henry was overacting. That's what I think.
I think so too. He just didn't want to say it.
Yeah.
I'll say this: I don't think Dana's as passionate as he was like 15 years ago. Like, if this was like the golden, I call it the golden era, Marcel, like 2010 to like 2015, I would say that was like kind of my favorite era when you had all the superstars. That's when Dana used to go to the press conferences. He would bash the commission. He would bash the referees. Remember, he would ban them. He'd be like, "Mario Armstrong, he's gone. He's never working again." All this stuff, right? Kim Winslow, all these. He doesn't do that anymore. I don't think he cares as much anymore. You know.
I mean, it says enough when last week there was a Vegas card, and like 1 hour before the Vegas card ends, he posed a story over Power Slap on his Instagram. So I mean, that says enough.
I just don't think he cares as much. All right, let's get some comments. What's up, Patrick? My friend who works with Henry said he picked his eye. Looks 10 times worse. I mean, it looks bad in that picture. It looks bad. Yeah. Yes, lazy, but the sole arbiter is the referee, so he makes all the decisions. I do think that the commission should have still scored the 4th round, though. Again, it wouldn't have changed anything, but they should have scored it. Marcel dropped off. I'm sure he'll be back in a second. Thing is, why did Henry take the 5 minutes continue if you couldn't see? I don't get it either. Joe, I guess, like I said, the only reason he would have is he thought he was up 2 rounds. The reason I guess Henry could take the 5 and continue was he thought he was up 2 rounds and took a risk that he could fight it out and get the decision. But what's up,
you hear me?
Espino got robbed. Yeah, I can. Can you hear me? Yeah.
Yeah, man. This camera is so sensitive that when I tap it, it falls out. So I'm sorry.
It's okay. No worries. You're good. Espino got robbed against Roman. Blake said, "Yeah, that was." I thought so too.
Actually, I told you a story about this, man. Romanov, after that knee to the groin,
went to the hospital.
He's been. in the hospital for 10 days because he couldn't move his leg anymore because some kind of a nerve was damaged. So
and everyone said he was like gaming the system too. Like, I mean, or he lied about it. Same with Henry. A lot of people last night said he chickened out. I think he tried to outscore the system too. I agree. I think he didn't know these guys are in a fight, man. They're getting punched in the head. I mean, it's hard to remember enough. Like, a lot of people didn't even know the rules otherwise. What's up, SV2? Cejudo fights again. Who do you guys prefer against? That's a good question. I mean, I don't mind that Aldo fight. That's a good shout. He's lost 3 straight fights. He's not a contender anymore. The other option is to go back to 125. I don't know if he can. He's 38 actually. He just turned 38, and he's bulky now. He even talked about it. He said it'd be a tough cut. Do you think he can make 125? You think it's possible? One more run at flyweight?
I don't think he should do that.
I agree. Looking to save face, I heard the magic words, can't see it, have the ref, doctor, corner stop. Yeah, that's fair. Dan, what's up, man? Oh, I know. So, yeah, the confidence picks contest.
It was close, man. It was close, unfortunately.
There's 3 weeks. You got 3 weeks, Marcel. There's 2 more weeks. So you still got a chance to knock out the number 1 guy. Hopefully True joins us in the chat at some point. But True, we all want you out of the thing, man. You're too good. Although he's not in first place anymore, so because Javid. We'll talk about him after. Hey, Dana, we'll talk about that fight in a sec. All right, let's go to the co-main event really. Actually, is there anything else you want to say with the main event really quick? Like Song, like who should he fight next? I guess really fast.
I mean, the thing with Song is like is this his best win? It's probably his best win. This one.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
And it's difficult to put it in perspective, in my opinion, because I mean it was a 5-round fight, went 3 rounds, and it wasn't complete. So that also take away from Song's performance, in my opinion. I think Song looked pretty decent. We'll put you. I mean, he just fought Piotr Jan, so that's not gonna happen, man. And they're gonna probably put Sean O'Malley in a title fight again, which is bullshit, in my opinion. But who do you have left at bantamweight, man? It's.
I still always wanted to see a rematch with Cheeto because I thought that fight was very close. That was a few years ago now.
Song won that first one, but I think Cheeto should have won that one.
Yes, I agree. So, and I think before this would have been his best win. But yeah, go ahead.
Cheeto was rumored to fight Mario Bautista, I think, but I'm not sure if it's happening. So
yeah, it's just he's in a weird spot. I mean, the other option. I'm just looking at the rank. I mean, he could fight Umar, right? That would be the other option because they were supposed to fight, right?
Or Rob Font.
Or Font. That'd be fun. They haven't fought yet, right?
No, nothing.
That's a fun one. I like that fight. We'll talk about Font in a minute. All right. Yeah. Let's go to the next fight. Your guy, Brendan Allen, Marcel's second straight loss here. Pretty competitive fight. First round, a lot of scrambles. I think Allen won that first round.
Yeah.
And then the second round, Hernandez, it came down to the third round. I think it was very close. Very close. Like not many strikes landed in this fight. A lot of control time though for Hernandez. Looking at the strikes, like 38-14, not much, and then 10 minutes of control though compared to 3. But Allen did have a submission attempt, 3 reversals. So I mean, his grappling obviously is very good, but I just think Hernandez, the pace, the pressure. We both picked Fluffy, right? Didn't we? I think.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, and the fight, Marcel, went how I thought. Honestly,
yeah. The thing is, like with Brandon, is like the third round. He started good, man, with the striking, and then he again went for a takedown, and Hernandez took it over. It's like the Imavov replay, where he was also doing well with the strike in the third, tried to go to the ground, and Imavov took over. It's like, for some reason, man, he has more like trust in his ground game than he has in his striking. Well, I think his striking ain't bad at all. It's just not as good maybe as his ground game. But against these guys who have also a good ground game, maybe stay striking. If you have success. But well done by Hernandez. What can you say, man? I mean, he also won the rematch now. He will get the step up in competition again. So yeah, it's good for him.
Well, Fluffy. Okay, so that Fluffy will be looking at the rankings. Fluffy was 12, Allen was 9, so he'll take his spot. I guess it would probably be the winner of the lead Zane Vittori, right? I would imagine. Would that make sense? Yeah,
they can also give him Caio, I think.
They could give him Caio, or they could give him Cannonier. Those are the 3 options.
Cannonier, I wouldn't do Cannonier.
I like the other fights too, but the thing is, he's won 7 straight fights, so he's on a nice streak right now, and he can't be too far away from a title shot, but he hasn't fought like those like top level
elite,
yeah. So he needs to fight probably one of those guys that steps him up to those guys, and then one of those top guys like a Strickland, like a Whitaker, like an Adesanya even at one point. Although the UFC, maybe they just said, hey, you know what? Let's give him a huge push to the top. They Strickland.
Well,
they might. I think it's possible. Huh. I'm really curious to see what they do with Strickland because he looked really bad in that last fight. Like he looked terrible. And they build someone off of him. I think at this point.
I wouldn't be surprised, man. They know Strickland is very popular by a lot of people, and listen, man, if you hate him or love him, dude sells because he got a lot of fans and he got a lot of hate watchers. So people watch him, and Fluffy is a guy he needs a push. I think they might do that, man. I wouldn't be surprised to see them do that.
It wouldn't shock me either. I think it's possible. I mean, I'd rather see probably Strickland and like Whitaker or Cannonier, but like the more I think about it, I think this does make sense. Yeah. So I think it's very possible.
From the UFC's perspective, this definitely makes sense. Yeah,
I think because Strickland's ranked number 2, they're going to try to use one of these like younger up and coming guys to build a name off with a win over Strickland. So it's probably going to be it'll probably be the more I think it'll be either Kaio or Fluffy.
But right? it's and it's same for Whitaker. I mean, they can do Strickland Whitaker, but then you do 2 of the more established guys against each other. But if you do, for example, you do Whitaker against Kaio and Strickland against Hernandez, you got 2 guys who have the possibility to jump to the top 5. So
I mean, you're not wrong. I think everything you're saying right. So it's crazy because like a few years ago, middleweight was kind of bad, and that's actually like a really interesting division now. I think there's a lot of contenders. It's interesting. So we'll see what happens.
Second best division after heavyweight. Just kidding, obviously.
Bantamweight's the best division, I think.
Bantamweight, lightweight, I love both.
Lightweight, yeah. Lightweight's always been good. Fluffy I agree. Fluffy Fluffy made some mistakes, but I think more it was Brendan Allen making mistakes, I would say. But like
he fell off the back so many times, man. I felt like
I think it's like a low fight IQ in this fight from Allen. And I mean for Allen, he's lost 2 straight fights against like really good fighters. So
but for Allen actually sucks because you have the feeling like he didn't have to lose against Imavov. He also didn't have to lose against Hernandez, but he did, and it had more to do with Hernandez being smart the way he fought, and also Imavov being smart the way he fought. So I mean, it's like pretty much 2 losses, which could have been.
Yeah, they were winnable fights, and I think both fights. I kind of wish they were both 5 rounds, like they were close fights.
Yeah, we had a beautiful discussion last night about that.
I'm looking at. I mean, maybe the loser of Vittori and Dolidze for Allen. That makes sense to me. All right, guys. Next fight here, Rob Font. I picked him as an underdog. Marcel, he got the job done. Very close fight. I'll be honest, guys. I scored it for Matsumoto. I'm being completely honest here. It was a close fight. It was actually, I think this should have been fight of the night personally, if they had to pick one. But I would have given the first 2 rounds to Matsumoto, the 3rd round to Font. It's weird because you look at the stats. They say Font or Matsumoto outlanded Font in the 3rd round. That doesn't make sense to me. But it didn't seem that way. But I mean, it came down to the first round. 2 of the judges gave it to Font, and he did outland him in strikes, but Matsumoto had all the control time, the takedowns. By the rule of the book, Font did more damage. I'm okay with him getting the decision. Watching the fight, it felt like Matsumoto edged it out. He definitely won the 2nd round, then the 3rd round, Font definitely won in my opinion. So it came down to the first round. It was close. I don't think you could go wrong either way. It was a great fight. I kind of wish this was 5 rounds too.
Other man, I felt like we were yesterday in the Discord. We were like at the local Rob Font fan club Discord yesterday in Lynch, because they're all like Font won. I was like, what the fuck? I had the first
apparently he did. Apparently,
there are a lot of blind people in this world. I mean, I had the first 2 rounds from Matsumoto, and now people are going to talk about damage. He opened up Matsumoto in the 3rd round with an elbow. What's damage? That's pretty much like what happened with Darren Elkins the whole damn time when he gets opened up and everybody's talking about damage. I think Font looked good in the 3rd round. He clearly won the 3rd round. First 2 rounds, for me, Matsumoto, man. So that's why I said in the Discord 2-0 Matsumoto, and everybody was like, "No, are you kidding me? I have a 2-0 Font." Like, what the fuck? You had
Dana's in the chat. He had 3-0 for Font. Yeah. So there you go.
Yeah, but I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit.
It's always good to get different opinions because I think it was a close fight, man. Like I was on Font, so I'm happy. I'm like, come on, give me a split. This I never get them, Marcel. I was so happy if I could get one of these close ones.
Yeah, I was like, listen, it's not like an outrageous robbery or whatever, but I think Matsumoto won the first 2 rounds in my opinion. But hey, what can you do?
It's not a robbery. I mean, looking at this, so again, just looking at the stats, these were just stats, but. Font did outland him in the first 2 rounds. Or I guess it would have been. The first round was 21-7. But again, the control time, the takedowns. Again, it's supposed to be damage over control. So it's fine if you scored it for fun. I mean, really, it is. When you think about it, Marcel, that's what.
Yeah, but the damage was in the third round, dude. Not in the
I didn't think it was like enough damage. That's what I think personally, because I think that it's not just control; it's effective grappling. And I think he was very effective with his grappling.
Yeah.
Like, so, anyways, it was a close fight. Let's get some comments. What people have to say. How do you give round hey Tristan, 2 of the judges did. I think some of the people in the chat might have. I'd like to hear you guys' thoughts if you did. He did outstrike him, Tristan. But again, I just feel like the first minute, I think Font came out really hard. He was laying big punches. It was nice. But like the last 4 minutes was all Matsumoto, right?
By the way, listen, man, I like Font, but kind of dirty what he did, man, in the first.
The glove touch?
Yeah, glove touch and immediately starting. I was like,
yeah,
come on, dude.
I've seen worse. Like, you know was a really bad one? Remember that girl, Sheila Gaff or something? Remember her? Like years ago?
Nadia Kassem, I remember, against the South Korean girl.
Yeah, that was bad. But there was that Gaff fight. I think it was in Cage Warriors or something where it was just like brutal.
Or Colton Smith on the Ultimate Fighter, where Warren Nelson told him, if you do that one more time, I kick you off the team.
Well, let me think the fight. It was Sheila Gaff versus Jennifer Maia. Remember that? And it was 10 seconds. Like they faked the glove touch and then knocked her over the punch. It was brutal. In this one, like he actually did touch his gloves, so like it was. I don't love it, Marcel, personally, but like he did touch his glove. It's not like he faked the glove touch.
I know, but
it was just kind of sneaky. It was sneaky. Yeah. It was a veteran move. I didn't love it.
Did it also Alexander Hernandez did it with Benil Dariush?
I believe so. Yeah. All right. Matsumoto control. Yeah. No, I agree, Tristan. I see what you're saying, Tristan. No, you don't have to apologize. I'm just trying to figure out what the judge. I'm trying to figure out what the judges had. Like,
we know what's not pointed at us. Was just in general what he asked.
But I will say, like, value-wise, Font at like was he like plus 150? Like there was good value, Marcel. You can say that at least. Like it was a close.
Yeah, it was. I mean, it was a close. Yeah.
But as an underdog. That's what I'm saying.
With Manifield Walker,
that was good value. It was very close. We'll talk about that in a second. Mm-hmm. Yeah, Blake. I mean, that was a close fight. I think Marcel took Royval. Did you not in that fight?
Yeah, I took Royval.
Yeah. He was like plus 200. That was a great value pick. It's sometimes these fights are so close that like, this fight I did think that I think it was a close fight, but they got the winner wrong. Basically, if that makes sense. I also think it should have been fight of the night. I think it should have been.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Like if I would have went with four performance bonuses, but
by the way, I'm super happy for Julius Walker. He said this money changes my life, so good for him. He has 2 kids, but yeah,
he does. This fight was better. He's like 25, man. Holy shit, he's young. Yeah. All right, let's go to the next fight really quick, and then we'll talk about Julius. But John Silva, you have the button, hit it.
The button, oh yeah, of course. That's John Silva.
So, I mean, at this point, guys, like this guy. Does he have championship potential, Marcel? Like, is it?
It's super hard to say because he hasn't fought any legit grappler yet. That's the difficulty here.
That's fair. That is fair.
That's it. Listen, his striking is beautiful. I love watching him. I mean, Melsik is a pretty technical striker himself. Yeah. If you can knock him out like that, I didn't. Like I said, I picked the decision. You picked the stoppage, so you saw.
I had my knockout. Yeah. I actually picked this card really well, especially on the main card. I'm in a pool where you have to pick the method, and I went 4 for 5. The only one I got wrong was I took Manifield by knockout and won decision. I got all the other ones right. So thanks, man. Yeah. But this one, like, I really liked the matchup for him because it was 2 strikers, and his striking is phenomenal. Like,
beautiful,
dude. 4-0 now, Marcel. Knockout win over Melsik. Knockout win over Judo, or it was
TKO cut. Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Knockout Charles Jourdain, the Canadian, the Canadian, and he knocked out Weston Wilson. Which, to be honest, like that win looks a little better in hindsight after Weston had that nasty submission. You talk about grapplers. I mean, he's got good grappling, and then that win over that Kevin Vachejo. How do you pronounce it?
Kevin Vachejos.
That win looks good, doesn't it?
Yeah, definitely. Vachejos is a real good prospect. Yeah.
I really like John Silva. I love the call out for Bryce Mitchell. He's saying like all the right things. Like you can't say this stuff. You gotta fight me now. I think it's a good matchup. I think he can win that fight. To be honest with you, I really do think, and I think it's perfect because we'll find out if his grappling's good enough, right? We'll find out.
Yeah. I mean, this is a good matchup. Bryce is ranked. I think he deserves a ranked opponent. Yeah, good fight for him to get in the top 15 if he wants to get in the top 15.
Bryce is 13th right now, so that's a perfect fight. It's perfect.
Perfect.
The other option is Cater, who's number 14. Cater shouldn't be ranked anymore, honestly, guys. He shouldn't be.
You can put that Bryce against Silva on the main event, I think, at the Apex, but I wouldn't put Silva in the Apex. I would put him on a
He
fight
needs a
night.
crowd. He needs a crowd.
I would even put him on a pay-per-view opener, man. He's spectacular, you know.
I'd rather see him open a pay-per-view. I think he deserves it. Maybe that card in New Jersey in June, I think it is, right? That one. Where's the one in May? Oh, it's in Montreal. Oh man, put him in Montreal. That'd be
you already got Natalia, dude. Come on.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about Montreal. We'll talk about the next show, guys, at the end. We'll do the preview for UFC Vegas, then 103, and then we'll talk about
another fight announcement last week.
Yeah, we'll talk about the fight announcements, but I want to save it. I wanted to save it for the next show, just to answer anyone's question. Let me get some comments though. Yeah, no, that's fair there. Dean, I looked at the stats myself. He did outland it. There's no doubt. So again, damage over control. That's the argument. Fair enough. But again, effective grappling is part of it too. I really like this guy, Craig. I think he's good, Craig. I think he's really good. If not Bryce, maybe Jean Silver, Gabriel. That'd be a fun fight. But I feel like John's gonna get a rank. I think he's 100%. He's 100% getting a ranked guy. I think he should have after he beat Drew Dober. I mean, beating Drew Dober lightweight is a big deal in my opinion. Like John. Very good win.
The thing is, like Adam, I agree, but the thing is, in this last featherweight fight, he missed weight, so I think that's why the UFC put him against Melsick now.
That's right.
He made the weight. He knocked out Melsick.
The fight was Rodan. He missed weight, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I forgot about that. Thanks. Good call. That's what happened. So he's back down here. I mean, he can make the weight. He can make. I don't know what happened in that fight, but he didn't make.
Let's talk about some of these fighting nerds, dude. I mean, Caio, João Silva, Carlos Prates, Mauricio Hufi.
Kristen's girl, Bruno Brazil,
yeah, but I would have. For me, it's more those four.
Thiago Moises.
Yeah, I know, and also like Mara Bueno. But for me, those four, like the newer ones, the Caio, the João Silva, the Carlos, the Mauricio, those four, dude, man, they are fun to watch and they are good, man.
Yeah, no, I agree. And by the way, Sawbuck, I see your comment with you. We'll talk about him in a minute. I agree with what you're saying, but just give me a sec. I want to finish up the main card. All right, so we're good with that. Let's move on to the main card opener. Alonzo Menifield wins a split decision over Julius Walker. This was a close fight. I thought Menifield won a split decision. I thought he won the decision. I think he won. I had him winning the first and third round. Did you score for him or did you score for Walker?
Could go both ways, in my opinion. I had the first round, I think, for Walker, second round for Menifield, the other way around, and the third round was close. I was like, by the way, Bruce Buffer had really a lot of difficulties by reading the scorecards last night.
Yeah, it was odd by Buffer for sure. He screwed this one up, but regardless, I mean, at least they raised the right guy's hand. It could have been worse if they raised Walker's hand and like, oh shit, we got the wrong guy. Could have been worse. But I mean, listen, the first round was very good. It was really exciting. The fight really tailed off after that. Both guys were huffing and puffing. I mean, they just didn't have like complete gas tanks to get there. Like, credit to both guys. They fought hard. They won fight of the night. I don't necessarily agree with it. I don't think it was a great choice for fight of the night personally. But I would say with Walker, I think, despite losing, he'll become a better fighter from this. Marcel, I told you I had a lot of like reservations about the quality of competition he fought in regional scene. I think he looked okay in this fight. Like, it was decent, but he struggled to get takedowns. He couldn't really get him down, and then he needs to work on not pushing against the fence if he can't get the takedown. You got to let go, reset, and then start striking, because he landed some big shots. So did Alonzo, though. Alonzo landed big shots. Alonzo landed more shots to the head. Here's where the fight, I think, changed, Marcel, or where it decided. Yeah. 64 head strikes to 37. That's the difference, I think. Go ahead.
By the way, did you know why his nickname is the Juice Box?
I heard he said he wants to put his face on a juice box.
No, what I've heard is that he, when he was younger, he looked a lot like O.J. Simpson, and O.J. Simpson is named the Juice.
Yes, I heard that too. So his coach
named him the Juice Box.
I heard him say that too, but he also said, I want to be on the face of the juice boxes too. So It's a good nickname. I mean, I like the kid. He's 25. He looked good. He'll be in the UFC for a while. To be honest with you, I wanted to fade Alonzo, but I don't think it was the right fight. I'll probably fade him his next fight, Marcel. I don't think he looked amazing in this fight, but he had enough experience to get him through the fight, and you got to give him credit for that. So, and I think going back to what's it called? Fortis was a good move for him. And you forgot about Mauricio Hufi. Forgot about
I said Mauricio Hufi.
Oh, there you go. All right. Go back to the so that was the main card. We'll go to the prelims, guys. Ian Kutalaba, great win here over Ibo Aslan, gets the submission. I didn't really see this one coming, man. And now Ibo, both his losses are by submission, so his ground game is not great. Good for Ion, bro. Good for him, right?
Yeah, definitely, man. The thing is, like, and maybe we should have seen it, you know, because Ian fought against Arslan. He also went for the ground game, you know, and I was like, if Ivo doesn't knock him out here, maybe, or he tags him and he doesn't finish, maybe he goes for the ground game and he tries to submit him actually. But I was like, Ivo can knock him out, and you saw Ivo tagging him, and he went for the ground game, and Ivo, you saw off his back, nothing there pretty much, you know.
He's kind of the guy I want to fade going forward too, to be honest with you. These ground games non-existent.
Yeah, and also now in hindsight, everybody was like crazy about that knockout against Cerquera, but you saw what happened
that's
early.
The thing. In the first fight, you know, you saw that guy, same thing happen. I'm like, okay, maybe this guy's not as good as we thought. You know what I mean? So
yeah, but I don't want to go too quickly to conclusions, but in my opinion, I'll think twice next time to pick him if he fights a good ground fighter. You know what I mean? So
me too. But you know, for Ion, listen, Ion's one of these guys. Like you can't quit him. Every time it looks like he's about to be cut from the UFC, Marcel, he starts stringing wins together.
Yeah.
He at one point had lost 5 of like 7 fights. He was 5-1 in 7, and he was about to be cut, knocked out Bozier. Now he's won his last 2 fights. Good for him. He might get, to be honest, actually, has he fought Menifield? I think they could do that fight, right?
Yeah, why not? He wants a round 3 rematch, right?
Oh, he called for that. I don't mind that either, although I kind of think Menifield makes more sense. But he'll probably get a ranked guy. He probably will. Yeah. So, next fight here, Melky Costa gets the submission over Andre Fili. So I was a little bit torn on this fight. I picked Fili because of the experience, but I wasn't 100% sure because I do feel like he's kind of getting up there long in the tooth a little bit. I think he could have won the fight. Like, I think the takedown he got was well timed. It was perfect, but he like left his. It was just weird. Like, he left his neck out, and the guy like just grabbed the guillotine. Like, I've never really seen that happen at the UFC level in a long time.
He almost pulled like a Benson Henderson. Benson Henderson always did it as well, leave his neck out. Only the difference is that Benson didn't get tapped out, you know.
Benson had a toothpick in his mouth too.
Yeah.
Remember that?
Always, yeah. And the sort of moment people saw that, and he was like, "No, I don't have it anymore." And then they called him in the picture where he still has it in his mouth.
That's crazy.
I mean, the thing was, I picked Fili. I thought, like, close fight in front of his home state, he probably gets a close win, you know. That's why I picked Fili. The thing is with Melquizael, I think Fili did well, man, in the first round, you know. But then he went for the takedown, and Melky adjusted on the ground at the moment. And, he tapped him out. It was really weird. I didn't saw it coming, to be honest.
I just don't think it should work at the UFC level. Like, this guy's, I think he's like a black belt. Like, that shouldn't work on it.
Yeah, by the way, something else. What was the weird ass thing with all these finishes and then they do the buzzer? Didn't you hear?
I don't know. That was
like when there was a finish, they pulled the buzzer. It's like, oh, it's a buzzer beater. No, it's not. Just put the buzzer.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Anyways, like Fili, do you think he gets released?
He won his last fight against Swanson, so maybe not.
Okay. Yeah, he won fight then actually. Okay, he'll probably get one more, but I'm telling you guys, it's getting there now too. Mm-hmm. He's been in so many fights. He's had a good career, man. Very inconsistent, but a fun career.
The funny thing is, man, Fili still looks like a fucking young dude, man. On you know, if you see him, you would give him in his 20s, but he's in his 30s.
34,
know? Yeah.
I've always liked Andre. I'm just saying, like, I
Me
think
too.
You know, there's so many guys coming up in contender series now. Like, they don't have room for everyone. He'll probably get one more if he loses. He gets cut. I really think that's possible. So. Good win for Melky. Obviously, you know, another submission win. His ground game's good, but I still think it was weird, man. This was very strange finish. All right, next fight. Go ahead.
Andre still needs to get his rubber ducky belt, you know. From,
remember, he got the piano key belt back in the day.
Yeah. He just needs one more. I talked about it to him, like in an interview, like I think a year or 1.5 years.
I remember that. I remember you talked to him. Yeah. All right, let's go to the next fight here. Mansour Abdul Malik knocks out Nick Klein.
Dude.
First round, Nick Klein drops him with a spinning back elbow. Was it spinning back?
I think it was a spinning back fist that happened to be on his elbow. Something, you know.
Actually, they're not saying it was a knockdown. I thought it was a knockdown. Maybe I'm wrong, but it seemed like it. He got rocked anyways. He got stumbled. I can't remember.
He staggered him, and then he took him down, I think, or something.
Dude, he was rocked really bad. Like,
yeah.
I think maybe if he just kept throwing punches, possibly could have got him out there. But either way, goes to the second round. Then Mansour gets the TKO. Mansour is a good fighter. I think he needs it. Like, I think it was Felder or Bisping. One of them said, like, this is actually good for him to go through this experience, Marcel, to like get hurt in a fight and then come back and win. But I think we should slow our roll a little bit with him, right? So because I was like, holy shit, this guy's really good. Now I'm like, okay, he's good, but take your time with this guy. There's no rush, right? What do you think?
By the way, Blake, we all are. But yeah, the thing is like
Yeah,
I think you.
Feely, right? Yeah.
I mean, the thing is like I remember when I said after the No Contender Series that I wasn't sure to sign him. Actually, this performance makes me more convinced that it's good that they signed him. Why? Because he had the adversity. He overcame adversity, came back, you know?
Yeah.
And that's, I think, a great thing about a young fighter. Because I think a lot of young fighters, when they have they can't overcome adversity when they're younger. You know, it's not a given thing, but I feel that most of the time. And with this guy, I think actually Nick Six told him in between the rounds, he's like, this is what we were waiting for. Now we can show what's up, you know. And actually he did it, you know, out of nowhere he got him, you know. So well done by Mansour, man. It was like a early scare, but great win.
Yeah, for sure. And then upset of the night, knockout of the night, performance of the night, Ricky Simone just absolutely destroys Javid Basharat. I didn't really see this one coming, man, honestly.
True also didn't.
Yeah, you didn't either, to be
fair.
No. You know what? Like I'll say this, like looking back now, like Basharat didn't look great in his last fight. But I also think Zahabi's very good. So I was like, okay, you know, I'll give him a pass on that one. Now I'm like, maybe this guy's just not as good as we thought at all, you know, because Simone was coming off 3 straight losses and he hasn't knocked out anyone like this in years. This was a nasty fucking knockout, man.
To be really honest, man, this also can be just like a bad night at the office for Basharat, man, to be really honest, you know. And with Simone knew that he had to win here, you know. He lost 3 in a row, fights pretty much close to his home, you know, because he had the people were cheering for him there, you know. So he knew he had to do something, and he wasn't going to win a decision against Basharat because Basharat is a little bit more technical, in my opinion, you know. But he just knocked him out dead, like with a crazy punch, you know, amazing punch, very well placed. And I think even Felder was like saying the moment he touched him, he was like, yeah, he need to do something different or something because Basharat is like almost flowing in what he is doing. And then he knocked him out, man. It was a beautiful knockout, great win, deserved performance of the night bonus. And good for Ricky, man, after 3 losses in a row, where I thought in the moment when he fought Song, I picked him to win against Song. Remember that, like 2 years ago? And it only went downhill for him. He looked awful against Vinicius Oliveira, you know, in his last fight. But yeah, I mean, great win. But we'll see. The thing is, like, if this goes to decision, I still think Basharat might win, you know, but he knocked him out. So we will see what Ricky can deliver in his next fight. I hope this brings him over that hurdle that he was in with the 3 losing, the skit of the 3 losses, you know.
Someone's saying in the comments it might have been a fraud check on Basharat. Do you agree, yes or no?
It's so hard. I can say yes. You know, at the same time, if this fight happens 9 more times, how many times would you pick Basharat and how many times would you pick Simone?
Well, if they rematch tomorrow, I would change my pick. I'll just say that right
You
now.
would? I wouldn't.
Yeah, I would.
I would still go with Basharat, and that's not because I think Ricky sucks or whatever. Absolutely not. But I think that Basharat doesn't get knocked out again like this from the same punch with Ricky. You know what I mean? But at the same time, great win for Ricky. You know, all credits.
No. I didn't expect this, to be honest with you. Yeah, I agree too. I mean, everyone's memeing him now, right? They're all putting the memes out there. They put the meme with Crazy Cat's face. I don't know if you saw that, Marcel. It's kind of funny. He's clearly not top 10. RDR, he has a fight rumored?
Yeah, you cannot say it. Somebody said in the dingus. And the
dingus.
And the thing. The dingus is Dutch. You can't say it.
No, I don't know. I think he's got a fight book. I don't know who it's.
Yeah, he got a fight book, but we can't say because somebody told us.
You know what card he's gonna fight at? Do you have any idea?
Yeah, I knew, and you do as well if you read it well.
I actually don't remember what card it is, but we could talk after. Sorry, guys. I mean, we'd love to. You know, I can't remember, to be honest with you, but I'd love to share anything I knew, but I can't say anything about this one. All right, let's go to the next fight here. Austin Vanderford gets the win over Nikolai Veretennikov. Pretty dominant win. Who'd you pick in the staff picks? I said Vanderford. Who'd you say?
Yeah, I picked Veretennikov. I'm an idiot.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go. I didn't have to tell you that. You didn't have to. Never mind. I'm not going to make a joke, but you're not an idiot. I like you. So, you're my friend, so you can't be that dumb. Hopefully. No, but I think Austin looked phenomenal. Honestly, like his wrestling was so strong in this fight. Nasty ground and pound, and then Veretennikov pushes him after Dana White basically gave him a pass. Said, he was frustrated. The referee should just. I don't know what Dana was talking about. This was weird. Like there was a clear stoppage. It was fine. I mean, I don't know if he's going to get cut. I thought he was going to get cut. Now they're saying he might not get cut. I don't know. I guess they want the cheap $10,000 contracts, Marcel?
I mean, I don't know why Veretanikov was upset with Austin Vandervoort, listen, if he's mad and then he's going to show
push the ref instead.
Yeah, fucking push the ref. Let's see if Dana's still so...
Kevin McDonald. Kevin, who also... we didn't talk about the stoppage
Jason High.
In the John Silva fight, though. I was going to say that stoppage was late.
Yeah. What about, I remember Jason High?
Yeah, Jason High pushed a ref. I can't remember a ref. It was. He got cut. Kevin Mulhall and then Dana cut him,
Yeah.
Anyways, Vandervoort looked good in the post-fight. Starts sucking up to Dana, talking about power slap. And Paige Van Zant's there. Paige is fighting on power slap. Not fighting. She's slapping in a couple weeks, right? Is that what happened?
Yeah, apparently.
Yeah. Is RDR and Nico a possibility? I think it's possible for sure. I think he'll probably fight someone ranked. Bo's ranked, isn't he? I think
he's ranked.
He'll fight someone ranked, Beers. I think. RDR, he had that win over Holland. What was the other one he had? Mearshart, right? So
Mearshart, yeah.
2 nice wins. I mean, really, when you think about it. All right, back to the card. Your Sultan Ruziboyev defeats Eric McConaughey. Is this a fraud check? Is this a fraud check?
I mean, were you high on Eric McConaughey? It was more like
really hyped us up on the guy. Let's be honest.
Listen, I'm not high on Ruziboyev, and I'm not high on McConaughey.
You picked McConaughey.
I picked him, because I thought he would wrestle Ruziboyev, but he didn't.
Yeah, no, dude. I gotta be honest with you. He looked like he had the UFC jitters that first round, right?
Clearly.
He couldn't throw a punch, guys. He was frozen. I feel bad for these guys when that happens because, like, man, you know how hard it is to even get to the UFC? Like, this guy's 34. He's worked so long. He gets there, and his body's frozen. It's not that he's scared. It's just, like, it's a mental thing. It's just, like, you can't let loose. Go ahead.
I said also in the Discord, he looks like really like I don't give a shit. That looked like he was, like, there, like, he's looking like, I'm here.
Yeah.
And maybe not. It's not true, but that's
you said he looked like he didn't want to be there. Did you say that?
No, I didn't say that. But actually, he looked like he didn't want to be there. And it's absolutely not true. Obviously not. But it felt like that way. He was like really like almost like non-responding. Let's put it that way. He was like really like quiet, looking around. So I was like, I'm here.
It's funny that Mansour Abdul Malik is like, I'm going to be the matchmaker, and I want Nick Klein to fight Antonio Tricoli next. I laughed at that because I'm like, all right, that makes sense, I guess. But the more I'm thinking about, maybe Nick Klein should fight McConaughey because they're on the same card. They both lost. It kind of makes sense, right?
Yeah, why not?
I think he'll get one more fight. If he loses, he gets cut, honestly. I think that's kind of how his career might go in the UFC. I don't think he's a bad guy by any means. Seems like a great guy. I mean, I saw James interview him.
Yeah.
Again, Alex knows him. He said he's an awesome dude. Cannonier was saying good things about him. It happens, man. How many times have you seen this, though? Like, a guy gets to the UFC and they freeze up. It happens a lot.
It happens all the time, man. And this is also short notice. So
all the time. But I'll still say this. I'm still not sold on Nursultan Ruziboyev.
I'm also not. No.
It's crazy. He's 3-1. My voice, sorry guys, my voice is a little shot this weekend. I've been a little sick.
I don't suck dick yesterday, so
dude, don't tell everyone. I've been sick this week. My voice is just killing me. But 3-0 at middleweight. So I mean, I think you should stick at middleweight, right? Why go back to 170?
Mm-hmm.
Also, like, he only lost to Buckley, who was fucking amazing. So I mean, like, I don't know. It's really weird because like the Ferrer win was a little weird. The Dumas win was really weird, and then this win is kind of weird too. Like
for some reason, I still don't have Buckley so high as everybody has.
I think Buckley's really good. I think he's awesome.
He's really good, but I don't know why that is, man.
You picked Covington over him. Come on.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's what I mean.
He's very good. I'm just gonna tell you, don't keep fading the guy. He's fucking good.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, it was 2 knockdowns. It was bad. I don't know why he tries to go to welterweight. I think he's fine at middleweight. Even at middleweight, he looks huge. Tafa slap Walter. Oh yeah, that was that too. And apparently, like all those like guys, the Tafas were all at Walter's hotel or something. Is that what happened? I think Blake told us this.
Slapped Walter after tapping out, and
they were like they had this hotel after they were pissed.
No, but after the fight, he slapped Walker.
Yeah, I'm just saying. And then they show up at his hotel too. Apparently.
Okay, I didn't know. Okay.
Yeah, I think so, Blake too. I think that's possible. I just don't know how good this guy and his brother. I think Ruziboyev's brother, whatever that guy's name is, I can't remember. What's his name?
Mashrab John.
That guy, I think, is going to get fraud checked too. I think. I'm not saying Sultan has been, but I think his brother was going to get fraud checked. His record is really sketchy. I think Jared Gordon would have beat him easily, personally. And then opening the card up last fight here, talk about Bukowskis knocks out Rafael Secura. Basically the same knockout Eva Ostlund had.
Yeah.
Right against the fence, destroys him. Great fight. Great win for him, I should say. I think he could have got a bonus. I was really impressed by the performance. I guess as the night went on, I can understand. To be honest with you, Marcel, I just don't think they should have given that fight the fight of the night. I would have given 4 bonuses, and I would have went with Modestus. I would have went with Ion, too. I think I would have with those 4. That's what I would have did. What do you think?
Yeah,
you
like makes sense.
Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah. And then Modestus gave James a shout out at the post fight. That was awesome. Apparently they had coffee. I wonder what they talked about. But I've always liked Modestus. He's a good dude.
Me too.
His first run, UFC 1-3, he had that disgusting knee injury against Khalil, and then somehow is completely turned his career around. Guys, 4-1, with a loss to Vitor Petrino, who got. Do you think Vitor got fraud checked? Would you agree with he got fraud checked?
Twice.
Fair enough.
I wouldn't say fraud check, but twice he looked really.
Yeah.
Not as we expected. Let's put it that way.
But that's just 4-1. I mean, maybe he gets Menefield. Maybe he fights Menefield next. Like, I think he could fight a ranked guy. Maybe he fights even Ion. I don't know. Like, light heavyweight, I know it's not a great division, but there's still some fun fights to be made, I think. So, overall, I think, here's my opinion on the card. I think the prelims guys were, like, probably the best prelims of the year. I would give it a 10 out of 10 the prelims. The main card, I'd give, like, 5 or 6, maybe. Like, it was okay. It wasn't anything special. I think the Silva fight was great. Bont fight was good. I don't know. The main event was just weird, and co-main event was okay. The Manfield fight was okay, I guess. That's good. So I think overall, I'd probably still give the card probably an 8. But I think the prelims were phenomenal, though. What do you think?
Prelims 9.5, main card 6.5 overall. Was
so 8.
Yeah.
So we have the same rating. Wow, for once.
Yeah.
For once. Yeah, I would have went 6 and 10. So 8. With the same thing. All right. Yeah, no, we agree with you. If you're gonna pick a fight of the night, that's fine. I think that would have been the fight of the night. I'm just saying, I kind of think they should have went 4 performances, and the reason I would have went with Modestus and Ion is just because those fights were like longer term fights that were booked. Like the fight with the catchweight fights, I wouldn't have given the bonus to with the Vanderford catchweight fight, I should say, and then Ruzaboy was short notice. Mansour was like short notice as well. Not that there's anything wrong with that necessarily, but like those other fights, those guys have been preparing for each other for like 3 months. And I think it's a little bit more impressive to like finish each other like that. So it's a good card. It's a really good card.
See,
sports better with the fans. Go ahead.
Here's the fun thing, you see Salbeck MMA, he says to switch back to the old glove shows, and then Krish comes in the other comment, and that's where I come in. It's like no women fights and no fat heavyweights on the prelims, and then you get better fights 9 out of 10 times, and then you have more finishes as well sometimes, because there are more people. The thing is, when you're on the apex, and I don't think it has anything to do with the gloves. It's just my opinion. Adam differs on this opinion. I think the apex fights 9 out of 10 times, the prelims are so lackluster, like 5 of the 7 prelims, and they don't want to lose. They look away to not lose and not to really win, that you get like a lot of decisions, and I think it's matchmaking. I think it's clear matchmaking, but that's just my opinion. Adam has a different opinion about it, but for me, it's clear matchmaking. So for me, that it doesn't make any changes to the gloves, in my opinion. But I know there are different opinions.
Well, I just look at the numbers. I just look at the stats myself. So I don't use my opinion, I use the numbers. No, but I did think after the card, I'm like, wait, there was no women's fights last night, huh? Maybe that's why there's so many finishes. Because let's be honest, that we just go by the numbers. There's less finishes in the women's fights. I'm not against women's MMA. I think there's some really good fighters, but I also feel like there's some fighters that probably shouldn't be in the UFC, but because they have to fill the divisions out. Same with heavyweight, to be quite frank, it's the same thing. I mean, you guys made a good point. Like Dante Almeida should probably not be in the UFC. You know what I mean? But there's also like a bunch of like 115ers that are not very exciting to watch, in my opinion. But you could say that about a lot of divisions. So
man, I watched some of Glory Kickboxing yesterday, man. And I was like, man, these guys, they really give like Jamal Pokes against Hamdi Abdel Wahab a run for their money over here, man. It's like, that's why I probably barely watch any kickboxing anymore,
Fair enough. No, I understand. All right. By the way, Fight Talk's here, and I want to give him a show. Obviously, does our artwork. We appreciate you, man.
So,
Take the new gloves, generate more glancing shots, punches them more flush with the old ones. I don't know. Again, I just look at the stats that Nate Latshot posted on Twitter a few months ago. Dana White thought Dana saw the report, right? He talked about it a little bit. He's like, well, the stats say that there's less knockdowns now, so
I
they went
mean,
against it. So
Dana gave Alonso Manifield against Julius Walker the fight of the night. So,
but I will also say this: it feels like there's more eye pokes again too.
I felt like the eye pokes were also with the new gloves, man.
They didn't change much.
Yeah.
They didn't change fucking much. That was the goal. All right, guys, we're gonna end the podcast though. So the good thing is we have another podcast for you guys. We're gonna go to UFC Vegas 103 podcast, and we're gonna do fight announcements and news. We'll talk about UFC Montreal, UFC 314 Miami, so all that. So get ready. I'll send the tweet out in a minute here, and we'll do the UFC Vegas 103 preview. Just hold on a sec, guys, and bear with us for about 2 minutes, and we'll post the link. All right, thank you.